Is this an alien implant? If you look closely at the picture of this man's left arm, you will see a dark brown triangular-shaped object that protrudes higher above his skin, and of even more importance, you can feel it with your fingers, following along its edges, and even feel the three tips of the triangle where they come together to make the 3 points of the triangle. The man does have small light brown freckles all over his arms, but they are much lighter in color and don't protrude like this object. It's almost as if the aliens were trying to make it blend in with the freckles to make it less obvious. In case you are wondering, yes, he did have an encounter with a UFO a few months ago that went on for a couple weeks every single night, until one night he walked out his door and seen the UFO hovering about 10 feet from the ground behind his house. This case has actually been filed with MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and is still under investigation. There appears to be what can only be described as a possible alien implant in his arm, which MUFON also took a report on. The UFO was so close he could have spit on it. He could see what appeared to be some kind of dark louvers in the middle of it that went across it horizontally from end to end. He remembered seeing the true story of Travis Walton and how the aliens took Travis and did not bring him back for almost a week. Fearing the same could happen to him, he immediately slammed his door closed, locked the deadbolt and the security chain on the door, and ran into his bedroom, where he awoke on his bed several hours later. It all started when his landlord started an illegal eviction on him, and trying to force him to move out, she illegally shut his power off, and even cut his water off, forcing him to borrow a couple bottles of water from a neighbor just to take his medicine. It was pitch black in the house at night since she had cut his electricity off, and it was 117 degrees outside that day, in the middle of the summer. Having no electricity to run his air conditioner or a fan, he was forced to leave his front door wide open all night long just to try to cool off, though there wasn't much of a breeze because all the surrounding buildings and trailers that were blocking the air. Perhaps that is what drew the attention of the aliens in the UFO, the fact that this man left his front door open all night long for a couple of months. The first appearance of the UFO was on about December 12, 2024, when he noticed a UFO in the distance about a half-mile away. It hovered a little above some trees in the distance. The UFO was bright and changed colors continually from white to blue, then light green, then a yellowish orange. There were so many colors it was astonishing and beautiful. It was as if the UFO were teasing him or trying to get his attention. As the UFO changed colors, it would hover in one place for a couple of minutes, then it would suddenly dart to the right at a high rate of speed, about 1,000 feet, and stop in the clearing and hover again for a couple of minutes. Then the UFO would dart back to the left and disappear completely behind the trees, only to reappear a couple minutes later above the trees again and hover. At times it would dart way up in the air a few hundred feet, then back down, dart left, right, up and down. This went on for several hours every single night like clockwork for over 2 weeks, until one night he was watching it, went in the kitchen to get a glass of Dr. Pepper, and when he returned to his chair, the UFO was gone. After waiting about 10 minutes, he got up out of his chair and walked out on the front door step and looked straight ahead, still no UFO. Next he slowly scanned the sky to his left, and then when he turned his head to the right, he was frightened to see the UFO hovering about 10 feet off the ground behind his house facing towards him. The man remembered how the aliens took Travis Walton aboard their spacecraft, did God only knows what to him while holding him captive, and did not bring him back until almost a week later. Fearing that the same thing could happen to him, he slammed the front door shut, locked the deadbolt, then put the security chain on the door and ran into his bedroom, where he woke up on his bed several hours later with what appears to be an alien implant in his arm. This man is willing to take a lie detector test, drug test, or do whatever it takes to convince people that these things really are taking place, and we need to be aware of these strange occurrences and make our government officials do their job and quit hiding these things from the taxpayers that put them in that position of trust in the first place. Here is an image of what appears to be an alien implant. MUFON suggested that he go have an X-ray taken of it, but he is retired and on SSI and doubts that they would pay to have an X-ray taken of a possible alien implant. So what do you think? Please be sure to like and share this video and click the subscribe button for more videos like this.